Hi, this is Justin McNichols with Osborne Partners with your latest market update for November 2022. Today, I'm going to talk about the speculative bubbles that popped starting in the summer of 2021 and what we can learn from watching those bubbles implode. And what I'm talking about is crypto, SPACs, memes, everything that was popular in most of 2021. So first, let's look at the bubble cycle. And what we see in every type of bubble is this multi-stage situation where starts off with what we call displacement. So it's when a technology or new idea displaces something old that we've and the new idea is something we've never seen before. That morphs into a boom when the media gets a hold of the idea and individuals start investing in it heavily. Turns into euphoria, where you have that fear of missing out phase. You get some profit taking, which is what we started to see in the summer of 2021. Then when the bubble pops, it falls precipitously, turns into panic, and then turns into despair. This actual chart is the Bitcoin Trust. And so the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, now we're at the despair portion of the cycle where it is 85% off the highs. So a typical cycle here. So how was the latest bubble created? Well, these bubbles were created through interest rates being tethered at zero for most of the last 13 years, quantitative easing, with a lot of money supply and those low interest rates, investors gradually moved up the risk spectrum. We started to get a lot of media coverage in crypto, SPACs, and memes. That morphed into fear of missing out. And then the bubbles peaked, the bubbles turned over, and then the bubbles imploded. So let's look at our portfolio first and the allocations to these bubbles that we had in our portfolios. Well, as you know, we've had a very refined discipline, style agnostic that we've used for many years over the decades, paying a lot of attention to valuation and risk rewards. So our portfolio had 0% allocated to crypto of any kind, zero in NFTs, SPACs, memes, IPOs. And this visual actually is 180 different crypto coin logos that was part of a piece that we wrote in the early summer of 2021 about why crypto would soon implode. So what were we telling clients at the time? Well, here are three quotes from that report that I just referenced from the early summer of 2021, where we were talking about crypto being in the euphoria stage, that we would most likely be peaking soon, and the phases would continue from euphoria to profit taking to panic to despair. And additionally, we were looking at how this potential bubble popping in crypto and SPACs and memes would potentially have any effect on the rest of our portfolio. So that's where we were concentrating a lot of our work, because none of these investments were passing any kind of investment screens for us whatsoever. Now, we all know that all of these bubbles have popped, but the aftermath is incredibly ugly. In crypto, if you look at the market caps for the total global crypto market, it peaked at over $3 trillion. It is now valued as of the middle of November here at only 819 billion. So 75% of investors' money has been lost. If you look at stable coins, at one point worth over 180 billion cumulatively, now worth 54, over 70% of the investments have been lost. And then NFTs, over 90 billion, now worth $13 billion, lost over 80% of its value. If you look at SPACs, in some cases just as ugly. Basically, we've had three common outcomes to the SPAC bubble. Implosion, returning capital because these companies were not able to find acquisition candidates, or simply languishing at a lower price point. And then the memes. While many memes are simply bankrupt, the two most popular, which were GameStop and AMC, both are down over 80% from their 2021 highs. So generally, as someone who invested in really any of these small bubbles, which imploded, have lost somewhere between 70 and 100% of their money. Here's some visuals. The top one is GameStop to show you what that 80+% drop looks like. The bottom one is Bitcoin, once trading over 70,000, at this point trading at 15,000. Finally, what are the lessons that we can learn from these bubblets? What's nice is our clients were able to learn without losing, since we had no exposure to any of these bubbles. But it's very important to learn lessons from what happened. And there are four in particular. And the first one is that psychology and emotions are very powerful in investing, both in the part of phase of fear of missing out, where you just can't stand it and you have to buy, and also the despair phase, which is what we're in now. Second, bubbles never end well. Third, professional management should have easily saved most investors from financial ruin. And that's why a lot of investors are with professional managers. And fourth, when it comes to us, this is proven that when you have a solid investment discipline that's proven over time and time tested, it enables you to avoid these temptations and end up having a portfolio that's able to learn without losing. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we look forward to our next video soon.